Welcome back to SoundSaga, where we dive into the stories of bands that redefined music. I'm Mike, and today we're unraveling the wild, raw, unapologetic world of Australia's Divinyls. From Sydney's gritty pub scene to global stardom, Chrissy Amphlett and Mark McEntee brought a raw energy that shocked and captivated. Picture Chrissy in her schoolgirl outfit, fishnet stockings, and swinging a neon tube like a rock and roll weapon. Like many people, I Touched Myself was my first exposure to the band, but there's so much more to the story. It's a saga of rebellion, reinvention, and pure passion. Let's jump in. In 1980, Sydney's King's Cross was the beating heart of Australia's underground music scene. This neon soaked district, alive with dive bars, strip clubs, and all night venues, was a haven for misfits, punks, and dreamers. Bands like The Angels, and Cold Chisel ruled the pubs, where sweaty crowds and sticky floors set the stage for raw, unfiltered rock. Into this chaos stepped Divinyls. Born after guitarist Mark McEntee was introduced to the electric Chrissy Amphlett by his fellow Air Supply alum Jeremy Paul. The three, along with keyboardist Bjarne Olin and drummer Richard Harvey, carved out a space in King's Cross's crowded scene. They blended post-punk's sharp edges with new wave's infectious hooks, and of course, Chrissy's voice. Part growl, part wail, and all rock star. Unlike the bluesy grit of Cold Chisel, the Divinyls infused a post-punk edge. Their 1981 single Boys in Town hit number 8 in Australia, its gritty energy capturing the Cross's rebellious spirit. The Divinyls weren't just playing music, they were channeling the city's wild soul. A role in the 1982 film Monkey Grip, alongside a soundtrack EP, thrust them into the spotlight, their raw sound echoing the untamed vibe of Sydney's underground. I love Only Lonely from that EP. Give it a listen if you haven't heard it. Chrissy Amphlett wasn't just a front woman, she was a force of nature. Picture AC/DC's Angus Young in fishnet stockings with a voice that could break hearts. On second thought, maybe don't think of Angus in fishnets. Desperate, Divinyls' 1983 debut was hard rock with a punk snarl. Tracks like Science Fiction and Siren hit like lightning. And check out the energy on Take a Chance. Chrissy's stage presence, all raw energy and unfiltered sexuality, drew you in and dared you to look away. She was a trailblazer to some, but too much for others. What's your take? Anybody who's seen her perform has one. Drop it in the comments. I want to know what you think. By 1984, Divinyls were chasing bigger stages. Signed to Chrysalis, they hit the US and beyond, with What a Life in 1985 delivering Pleasure and Pain, a pop rock gem that cracked charts worldwide. But the road was rough. Jeremy Paul exited the band early, and the volatile creative spark between Chrissy and Mark kept tensions high. By 1988's Temperamental, they were a duo backed by session players. Songs like Back to the Wall showed a darker edge, earning cult status, but not mainstream glory outside of Australia. Divinyls were fighters, always on the edge of a breakthrough. In 1991, Divinyls hit the stratosphere with I Touched Myself from their self-titled album on Virgin Records. This cheeky anthem wasn't just a song, it was a cultural moment. For Divinyls, it was a game changer, thrusting Chrissy and Mark into global fame and cementing Chrissy's fearless persona as a rock icon. The track's unapologetic take on self-empowerment shook the music scene, inspiring artists to push boundaries and sparking debate on sexuality in pop music. It's been covered by artists as diverse as Pink and Eve 6. I Touch Myself resonated deeply, though some radio stations hesitated over its provocative edge. It became an anthem for women's empowerment and was later tied to breast cancer awareness. Tracks like Boys in Town and Pleasure and Pain had built them a cult following in some places, but most of us outside of Australia had never heard of Divinyls. This album blew up worldwide and solidified their legacy. Did I touch myself, go over the edge, or was it pure genius? Either way, it had a massive impact. In fact, it was the only Divinyl song I'd ever heard for over 30 years. Luckily, I had the good fortune to receive recommendations from cool Australians commenting over at Play It Again with Mike and Ginger, the reaction channel I share with my wife. They pointed us to some great Divinyls music. I've got a link to the channel in the description below. Check it out if music reactions are your thing. After I Touch Myself, the spotlight faded. Their 1996 album Underworld had gems like I'm Jealous, a number 14 hit in Australia, but it didn't match their earlier fire. I'm jealous out of my mind. While Mark stayed out of the spotlight, Chrissy pursued acting, shining as Judy Garland in The Boy from Oz. Check out how beautifully she channels Judy's vulnerable side. Quiet, please. There's a woman up there. A 2006 ARIA Hall of Fame induction and brief reunion tours kept Divinyls' legacy alive. Chrissy Amphelet's passing in 2013, at the age of 53, from breast cancer and multiple sclerosis was a gut punch. Her anthem, I Touch Myself, became a breast cancer awareness call, urging self-exams worldwide. Divinyls' influence, from pub rock to empowering anthems, lives on, with science fiction named one of Australia's top 30 songs by the Australasian Performing Right Association in 2001. Divinyls were a revolution. Chrissy Amphlett and Mark McEntee turned raw passion into art, from Sydney pubs to global stages. I Touch Myself shook the world and left a mark as an anthem for empowerment. What's your favorite Divinyls moment? Is it Chrissy's neon tube swagger or Pleasure and Pain? Maybe like me, it goes all the way back to the beginning in Boys in Town. Share it in the comments below. And if you're loving SoundSaga, don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe for more music stories. I'm Mike, and I'll see you next time.